Good morning, folkers. Snapzilla Gorilla in the place to be. Coming at y'all with another short video. Got some news for you. A few months ago, there was an incident in New Zealand involving two mosques, right? Where 50 people lost their lives. Not too long after that, I say about 13 hours, 12 to 13 hours after that happened, lawmakers immediately jumped on an assault weapons ban, and it was passed very shortly after that. Now, I got some news to relay in regards to a buyback program that they did in New Zealand in regards to this new ban. Okay, now, I'm going to read this article. We're going to go through, we're going to break it down, and I'm going to point out some things that don't make no damn sense. Okay, we're going to go through this. All right, so now this is from, this article's from 13 WTHR, the one with the peacock, the news station with the peacock, ABC, NBC, 123, whatever the fuck the motherfuckers is. Okay, so now we're going to go through the headline. New Zealanders hand in 50,000 guns after assault weapons ban. Okay, 50,000 guns. That's quite a bit of guns. Okay, let's go through this article. New Zealand authorities said Saturday their country will be a safer place after owners handed in more than 50,000 guns during a buyback program following an assault weapons ban. Oh yeah, they know that for a fact. But critics say the process was flawed and many owners have illegally stashed their firearms. Illegally stashed their firearms? How about they kept their firearms hidden from the thieves that would come to their house and take their shit? Or that want them to turn their shit in. Hey, let me just hand me your shit. I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm going to hand you my property because someone else did something wrong with a similar tool, right? Makes a lot of sense. The government banned the most lethal types of semi-automatic weapons last month after a lone gunman in March killed 51 worshippers at two Christchurch mosques. The police then launched a 6-month program to buy the newly banned weapon from owners. All right. The buyback ended Friday, with gun collection events staying open late as police reported a surge in last-minute returns. So people just decided in the last minute, you know what? I'm going to comply with these new bullshit laws that mean me turning in my property. What's up with that? New Zealand, what is up with that? I mean, is this even true? I would like to hear from somebody in New Zealand about this and see what's really going on here. Okay? Provisional figures indicated 33,000 people handed in 51,000 guns and another 5,000 guns as part of the parallel amnesty in which owners could hand over any type of firearm without any questions being asked, but without getting compensated. So that means that, you know, you get to turn your shit in for free if you don't want to know where you got that shit from and how you obtained it. Fucking bullshit. So in order to get the money, you got to tell them how you got it, where you got it, it's bullshit. Owners also modified 2,700 guns to make them. How do you know that? How do they know that happened? How do they know that? Did the owners of these weapons, they just told them and they just, how do they know that? How do they know 2,700 people converted their shit to make it legal? How do they know that? Oh, man. While police said that they had seized over 1,800 guns from gangs since March. My question is this. Why wait till now? Why wait till after March? Why wait until after that tragedy, that alleged tragedy, by the way, that's very fishy and a lot of inconsistencies, and I don't believe half of what happened, what they said happened. Why wait until that point in time to start seizing weapons from criminals? Why were the criminals able to hold on to these weapons up until that point? Is it normal for you guys to seize 1,800 weapons from criminals in that time period before this happened? Or you just decided to just now start doing that shit? How did that work? Why are you just now seizing weapons from criminals? So you got 1,800 from criminals, but 51,000 from other folk. How many criminals are they? Do they still have their weapons? What we're going to do about that? Y'all going to seize all these weapons from all these criminals that easily? My word. And police said they're in the process of collecting 1,600 guns from gun dealers. Okay? Police Minister Stuart Nash told reporters Saturday that criminals would find it harder to get their hands on assault weapons because they tended to steal them from lawful owners. Come on, man. But those weapons would now be out of circulation because criminals only get guns from legal gun owners, right? Right. They also get them from police lockup, from police evidence lockup. Now, they did smash a lot of these weapons, just so y'all know. In New Zealand, they smashed a lot of weapons. They destroyed a lot of them. So they say. Police Deputy Commissioner Mike Clement thanked gun owners for doing the right thing. Man, don't even get me started on that one. He acknowledged in a statement that it had been a difficult process for some people. No shit. It's been a difficult process because the fucking government is stepping on their neck to make this happen, putting the pressure on them and seizing more control and power from the people. So what happened with this gun ban law? It's more transfer of power. Point blank period, that's what it is. I mean, let's grow up, okay? Let's grow up. It's time to grow up about this. Be grown men and women. Let's understand this. Let's understand something, man. Every time they create a law, that's another link in the chain of enslavement that we already have on us. You know, and some of these laws put several links on the chain. We have to understand that these people don't give a shit about us. This is not about protecting us from potential mass shooters. That's not what this is about. This is about control. This is about them being able to do what they want to us without us resisting. That's all it's about. They don't want us resisting. So they'll do what they got to do to ensure that we don't resist. That's all it's about. It's about taking the power from you and giving themselves more power, because they don't believe in empowerment of the people. They believe in the empowerment of the system, the empowerment of the elites, the empowerment of the people who participate in the bullshit. The order followers, like the police, military, and federal government police agencies. That's what this is about. This ain't about protecting the people. This is about ensuring that when they want to create a tyrannical atmosphere, they can do it with very little resistance. That's all it's about. They want to control you with very little resistance. Point blank, period. That's what it is. But Nicole McKee, a spokeswoman for the advocacy group Council of Licensed Firearm Owners, said owners had kept about 2/3 of the banned weapons because they had lost faith in the government and hadn't offered an adequate compensation. So 2/3 of the weapons are still out there. 2/3. That means that 66% of the people of New Zealand who own firearms are wise enough to know that we should not turn our shit in. We need to do something else with that. Okay? They never overcame being blamed, which is exactly what happened. This woman's on point. They never overcame being blamed by authorities for being somehow responsible for a heinous act of terrorism, something they would never do, McKee said in a statement. Facts. One man allegedly decided to take a bunch of lives with firearms, not the 33,000 people that turned in their firearms so many months later. No. They didn't commit any mass shootings, so why they got to turn their shit in? Because some other dude, some other clown did what he did. If he did what he did the way they said he did, which I feel is not what happened, but it is what it is, But this proves it. 2/3 of the people had the presence of mind to say, we're not going to participate in this BS. Good luck, New Zealand government, trying to get that shit from them. The ban on assault weapons was strongly backed by lawmakers. No kidding. Strongly backed by lawmakers? Of course. In a historic 119-1 vote after the mosque attacks. Lawmakers are now considering further restrictions, including creating a register to track all guns. How is a registry going to stop mass shootings? How is making someone register their firearm going to stop a mass shooting? 9 times out of 10, if you commit a mass shooting, they're going to know who you are. It's not going to matter if your shit's registered. So you're already going in to this knowing that they're going to know who I am. They're going to know what I have, whether it's legal or not. They're going to have all this information on me. So what's the matter if I register? Registering your weapon is not going to stop somebody from killing. I gotta register my weapon, man. I better not kill nobody. No, it's not how it works, man. If they don't want the government to know that they're the ones who committed the crime, they're gonna get the gun from somewhere else. They're gonna obtain it illegally. Okay? And if someone who doesn't care if they're found out, is gonna use their shit whether it's registered or not. Come on, man. Fuck out of here. The registry is for the government to know what you got. So when they feel like they want to seize weapons, they can go to your house. They know what you got. They can say, look, I know what you got. You're right here on the registry. And we came to get your shit. That's the point of the registry. It's not to stop a fucking crime. It's not to stop mass shooting. No. It's to help them understand who got what so they can go get that shit. Fuck out of here, man. Police figures indicate the government paid out just over 100 million New Zealand dollars. Ooh. 66 million US dollars to compensate owners during the buyback. Come on. $66 million. 66 US dollars. 100 million New Zealand dollars. So your freedom is worth $100 million? No, I think not. I don't think there's not enough money for any government. No government has enough money to buy my freedom. Okay? But like Nicole said, 2/3 of the people still have this shit. And that's why they want you to register your weapons. And that's why they want to make stricter gun laws. That's why they want a registry. So that when it comes time, you can't stash your shit because they know you have it. And they're going to tear your house up. They're going to go everywhere all the people. They're going to follow you. I mean, come on, man. That's why they want to register your shit. So that you can not hide your shit when it's time for them to seize weapons. Point blank and period. That's all it's about. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about stopping no mass shooting. They will use the shit out of a mass shooting to push their agenda, to get what they want. What did Rahm Emanuel say? Never let a good tragedy go to waste, or however he said it. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said. They don't give a fuck about the tragedy itself. They don't give a fuck about the victims in the tragedy. All they care about is using the tragedy to push an agenda. Point blank and period. When we gonna wake up? I don't know, man. I was talking to my brother yesterday about how we don't need government. That's my thought on it. We don't need government, okay? And I gave him examples of instances where where the government failed the people and they had to stand up for themselves. They had to do shit for themselves. Like those towns in Mexico where the government and the municipal government and the federal government refused to help this town get rid of or protect it from cartels and how they took up arms themselves with hunting rifles and shit like that, small shit, and they just took it upon themselves to protect their own town. They were arresting and doing whatever to these cartel members that think they can just ride through town, ride through your city, and do whatever the fuck they want to do. In Detroit, 2-day response times for the Detroit Police Department. The citizens decided to hire a private security force to protect the neighborhood because they could not rely on the government. The police chief said, y'all better get strapped up and be ready to protect yourselves, because he knew. Okay, those are examples of when the government is not around to help you, people somehow pull it together. They come together in a voluntary system. Voluntarily, they come together and they make shit happen. Just like that kid who was filling potholes every other day with just dirt and water because he got tired of waiting for the government to fill these potholes up permanently. This is what you get when you don't have government services. People somehow put their brains in active mode and they figure shit out. Now, not everybody's going to figure it out. Some people are not going to be able to do it. Some people are going to be able to step up and lead by example. Okay? Now, being a leader is not the same thing as being a ruler. Okay? When I talk about voluntarism, it's about no rulers. It's about, and that's what anarchy is about. Anarchism is about having no rulers. It doesn't mean that you don't have leaders to lead by example and lead by a good example about what can be done. Now, is it just going to be a simple, get rid of all the government and everything's going to be okay? No, it's going to be an adjustment period. You do you do it one step at a time, right? You might start with decentralizing the federal government, okay, and have the states control their own shit, and then you break it down from there, and then eventually you dismantle that, and then everybody can do what they want. They can join each other. They can voluntarily participate in a system that they feel suits them, and if they don't like it, they can move on. They can go on about their own business and be left alone, and that's how it should work. You know, not, and that doesn't mean that there's not going to be criminals and people, and crazy people. You know, you deal with that as it comes, and that's what I was trying to explain to him. Like, no, you don't. I mean, we don't need the government to survive. We don't need the government to be civilized, to have civilization. We don't need the government to protect us. That's not the government job, by the way. The government job is not to protect you. The government's job is to extort you, to control you, to rule over you, to oversee you. That's their job. They don't give a shit about protecting you. No, they don't care about that. They care about spreading their empirical power all over the place, and you know that's all they care about. They don't care about you. And once we realize that, we can start taking the steps that are necessary to ensure that we take care of ourselves. That's what I'm about. Self-reliance, self-sufficiency, self-protection. Why not? A voluntary system where if you feel like you want to put money on roads to build roads, to help build roads, everybody participates voluntarily in that. They're not forced to do it, but they know that if they don't, then they might have a problem. They might have a problem with these roads. So you're gonna want to pitch in, or maybe not. It is what it is. Listen, the government don't give a shit about you, nigga. They don't. And this buyback, this registry, this does not. I mean, background checks. This shit does not stop crime. Criminals don't care about no background check or no registry or no buybacks. And the only way they would care is it makes it easier for them to commit crime against potential victims. You're creating victims. That's what the government is about. Creating victims. Victim creation. Point blank and period. There's no two ways about it. Anyway, I've ranted long enough. Okay? Ranted long enough. Y'all get what I'm saying? This information is real. Yeah, they going ham. So, I mean, this is going to be the example that they use to push more gun control here in the United States. We got to say, oh, no, hell no. Very different country than New Zealand. Okay, this is a very different country, and that's just what it is. So anyway, much love to you guys. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you ain't subscribed yet. If you feel like my content might be for you, I have a lot of similar content. I cover a lot of things. So yeah, let's move forward in peace and self-sufficiency and love and self-empowerment and getting our power back. All right, much love to y'all.